Hey, hey, hey. All right, so like we said last time, we are going to start off by heading out to visit our good buddy Erasmus. So he's over on the eastern portion of the map, over by our snowy mountain passes. Excellent. Hopefully I don't lose, because that'll be embarrassing. Welcome to Magic Mountain. Now go home. Oh, that's rude. Thought we were friends, Erasmus. This is nonsense. Episode's Tower of Power. Oh, be a battle of salad dressing. We've already seen all these. It's a bit like a purple mannequin. This guy should let us right in. Oh, you again. Here come your question. Oh, maybe not. I was wrong. Nigel Montalban, combination of a couple reference. This is your quest to be a hero. What is the meaning of... Oh, exact same questions. There is some variability in what the last question will be, but obviously not today. And we won't be coming back here. Unless we lose, which would be very sad. Shouldn't have to deal with much conversation at all, which is nice. Do we know open? Yes, we do. We know fetch? Yes. Flame dart? Yes. And trigger? Yes, we do. Wonderful. You play a game of Mage's Maze with me. Do you want to play? Don't you? Yes. Teach you the Dazzle spell if you win, which is very nice to have. Will become useful to us. The game's a little bit interesting. Doesn't always, in my opinion, register things perfectly, but basically this is Erasmus over here, and this is us, our little blue flame, and we have to try and traverse this path to the goal down here. I don't really explain any of that in-game, you just figure it all out. And if you want to drink a mana potion, click on that. So let's fetch a path, and we will fetch another while we're at it. And then let's grab this ladder, bring it down here. You have to use trigger to change your size, which will allow you to go through certain pathways that you otherwise don't fit through. Going pretty nicely here. Let's grab this path and one more. Alright, there we go. Nice and easy. Usually takes at least 500 tries for anyone less than a full wizard to defeat me. So I promised I should not teach you the spell. It was Erasmus Razzle Dazzle. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Big chunk of puzzle points. And now we have the Dazzle spell. Oh, expertise. Okay, good. And that's all we need. So we will now be poofed away. Wunderbar. Alright, so what we're going to do now is head over to town and finally check out the other half of town before we really start diving into the quests. Looking around. Alright. Head over here, and the first person we run into is the beautiful Hilde. Said something about apples, probably. Name: I am Hilde, daughter of Heinrich Perferferderderdern, the farmer. Farmer. Father's a fine farmer. Good. Father. Father is Heinrich. Alright, these are not very interesting questions. We have some land to the north of town. It isn't very big, but we grow many things. You should be here during harvest time. You would see many fruits and vegetables. Well, now I'm just disappointed. My mother has been dead for 3 years now. I still miss her. Well, that's sad. Date. Thank you. My father thinks I am too young. He would not permit it. Perhaps next year. Not really sure how a relationship between a human and a centaur would go, but I guess we don't get to find out. This is where I sell things from my father's farm. asked about all these. Vegetables. We have many kinds of fresh vegetables for sale today. There are carrots, rutabagas, parsnips, and potatoes right from the ground at 5 for a silver. They are very good for you. We also have some apples. Ooh. There's still some apples left from last season in the barrel. You may buy 10 for a silver since they are so small. Carrots. Carrots are my favorite vegetable. They are crisp and sweet. What a very horsey thing to say. Rutabagas keep well over the winter months. Parsnips. Parsnips can be made into a tasty pie. Turnips. Turnips are good if you cooked them in stews. Wonderful. And the brigands. They have twice robbed my father of his money, and they have tried to steal our food during this winter. That is because we farm outside of town. The brigands would not dare try that in town. The sheriff would stop them fast. Hear about the robbery first. Many robbers ran up to father as he trotted back to town. My father tried to fight, but they hurt him badly. Then they ran away to the southwest. Our sheriff is very brave. He told me so himself. And that should do it. So, we'll make a purchase of our fine hill day. And if we remember, Brugge, the frost giant, wanted some apples to make into mead, and I believe we need about 50 apples. Hopefully we don't need more, because he does have very large hands. Apples. Wonderful. Alright, dry goods store. Let's head in here. This looks like a dry goods store, but it smells like a musty library. The stove feels nice on such a crisp day. Behind the counter... and on the shelves, there are a variety of items for sale. Shopkeeper appears to ignore you while he reads a book. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you coming in. My, you look like an adventurer. We don't see too many around here. The brigands tend to get rid of most adventurers before they make it to town. I do try to stock some things adventurers can use. I actually would rather be an adventurer than a shopkeeper, you see. I forgot to start my timer to make sure the videos don't run too long. My items are pretty ordinary, though. You probably already have most of them if you've done any adventuring at all. So, quick chat. Name. Why, that's me. I'm Caspar. Wonderful. Adventurer. I always wanted to be an adventurer. I read about them all the time. The book I was just reading is about adventuring. Tell me about the book. Oh, this book? It's about an adventurer who's trying to become a hero. The title is called Quest for Glory, A Hero's Death. Yeah. Equipment. Unfortunately, I only have standard weapons and equipment. I carry daggers and chain armor. Maybe someday I'll be able to carry magic ones. Fancy. Daggers. The use of a dagger is a most skillful art. Actually, this particular weapon is longer than most, but still easily concealable. A bargain at 20 silvers. Chain armor. You can get really good protection from my chainmail armor. It's very heavy, though, and I would have to charge you 500 silvers for it. That's really only useful for the fighter. Food. Adventuring rations aren't the tastiest food in the world, but they will keep you healthy and alert as you go along. A pack of 10 rations will cost you just 5 silvers. If you take longer in the game, there's a lot of value in that, but with not really needing that much days in-game and having the food at a runner's piece, there's just no need to refill almost ever. Flask. It's a very good idea to carry an empty flask or two in case you want to pick up a liquid or something else that needs a container. Our flasks are a great bargain at 2 silvers each. You can buy them, but there isn't much need if you buy anything, any potions from anyone else, because you then end up with empty flasks after you use them. Still have the 4 rations. Maybe we'll buy one just to be nice. Alright, what else can we ask you? Asked about equipment, brigands. I don't like to talk about other people behind their backs. Sure, even though they're just robbing everyone. Sheriff and Otto protect the town. The sheriff used to be a real adventurer, you know. Wonderful. And Hilde. Hilde sells 5 produce for a reasonable price. Wonderful. Sure, why not? Alright, let's go for a little stroll. Let's see what's in here. There's no response. The lock is of a simple type. Oh, actually, that's the sheriff's house. Shop seems to be closed, although there are some dried up cupcakes in the window. There is a sign on the door which says Gone Fishing. So that's the bakery, and then the butcher shop. Shop seems to be closed. There's a sign on the door which says Gone Fishing. I wonder where they are fishing. But before we check out our last door, let's head down here. Grubby place must be an alley. It feels strange here, colder than the rest of town. There are some barrels discarded here. A beggar holds out a bowl towards you. If you remember, there was a Some people told us that Arana's spell over town missed some locations, particularly this back alley. Alms, alms for the poor. Well, my friend, what kind of adventurer would it be not to help out? Thanks, it's really tough trying to make a living begging in this town since the brigands started scaring all the trade away. It used to be such a nice place to live. My advice to you is not to take up begging. It just doesn't pay. And don't go out at night. Thank you for that. Let's chat with you a little bit. Begging. A beggar gets cash only when others get cash, and nobody's got much money around here now, except maybe the brigands, and they aren't sharing cash. There's honest work up at Baron's Castle here, but begging's my business. Work. You can get a job cleaning the stable, I understand. It's a great if you want to build up muscles or have a place to spend the night, but you won't get rich. I'd rather beg myself. Interesting system. Name is Sam. I've lived here for 5 years now, and I think I'll be heading on once the pass clears of snow. Supposed to be some good begging towns to the south. Nice talking to you. Alms for the poor. Alms. So, basically that means that we have to give them some money again before they keep talking to us. But for the far, far future, we want to keep Sam in mind and the fact that he's looking to go to some other towns. Thanks, blah, blah, blah. South. Heard Silmaria is a good place to be. Interesting. And it's by the sea. I think I'll head there after this. Well, we'll have to keep Silmaria in mind. And tell us about Spielberg. Understand this used to be a great place to be. Traders going in and out, tourists coming and going. Perfect begging conditions. Things were starting to dry up about the time I got here. Just my luck. The brigands started getting tough. Traders. Traders used to stop here on the way south to pick up barrels of some special cider made here by a guy named Amblin. I believe that's a reference to something that I don't know. Tourists used to come here regularly for the Spielberg Cider Festival. After the cider industry closed, not much point for the festival without the cider part. It's about cider. Heard Amblin got scared of the brigands and decided to move away. I still remember the taste of his cider. It was so good. It was called Amblin Entertainment from Spielberg. First luck. I have lots of luck. It's just that it's bad. Oh. It's about the brigands. Rumor has it someone smart took over, organized them, trained them, that sort of thing maybe. Nowadays, no one's safe outside of town. Up to that time, the brigands were just pains, dumb guys who sometimes tried to beat up traders outside of town. They sure hurt business. No one's getting rich but them. And I think that's about night. Remember when people used to stroll around town after dark? There's a spell on Spielberg so that it glows at night. Now the only people out late are the thieves. Out of town, man, you don't dare be out there without a light when the sun goes down. The night gaunts will get you. Nobody ever lived to talk about what the night gaunts are. I sure don't want to find out. I've heard talk that some kind of magic keeps things peaceful around here. Folks just don't feel like fighting in town, except maybe Crusher. Kind of wonder about this alley at times, though. Feels funny, sort of like the spell missed it. It's dark at night, too. Crusher. Works at the tavern, lives up to his name. Not usually bothered by them, since I don't have much to steal. They are around, though. It's not safe to sleep in the streets at night. Outside, you get eaten. Inside, you get robbed. Alright, I think that's everything. Word of warning to you. Don't drink the dragon's breath. Okay, make sure not to drink the dragon's breath. Rather seedy looking bar. Grimy window lets little light into this tavern. It smells like stale ale and other more unpleasant things. The floor is covered with dirt and the bar with sticky beer. Smoke appears to be rising from the center cask behind the bar. To your right, 2 gamblers are playing cards. Bartender glares at you as you enter, and so does the ugly goon on the left. That'd be Crusher. You get the impression that you are not welcome. A little something on the ground here. Pick up the note. You smooth out the piece of paper and read. B. He's starting to get suspicious. Hold off on our meetings for a bit, but I'll keep you posted by these notes. Alright, so we'll have to keep an eye out for some notes. See if these guys have anything to say. Haven't been able to get any supplies in since brigands closed off the area. Bakery will reopen as soon as I have some. And they're playing Go Fish. Butcher's been getting all the good cards. Name. Silas Sourdough, the baker. And fish. Mirror Lake to the south has a huge fish, but it's pretty dangerous. Butcher shop. Not a whole lot of meat in town for me to butcher these days. Now, if someone would just bring down that stag in the forest. So that was the stag that we saw earlier. Cards. These cards, they've been very, very good to me. Got me 308s, playing a very interesting deck. Butch Beefmeister, the Butcher, and Fish. There's a river to the south by the Flying Falls. Awesome. And I'm not going to try to talk to Crusher. I don't remember if he just kills us or doesn't care what we have to say. What do you want? Let's see if the bartender wants to chat at all. Sure. It's a bar. I serve drinks. You want a drink? Order one. You want answer stupid questions? Get out. Drinks. Ale is a silver. Troll Sweat's 5 silvers. Dragon's Breath 25. Take your pick. Dragon's Breath, I believe, kills us instantly. Troll's Sweat, I think, makes us pass out, and then they rob us. Ale, you can have. Ale. Good for what ails you. Haha. Troll's Sweat. It'll go down real smooth. And a Dragon's Breath. It's house specialty. Town, what do you think I am? A guide dog or something? Tavern. This is Aces and Eights Tavern, stranger. And Crusher. If you don't like his personal affairs discussed, my advice is not do anything that'll upset him. Wonderful. Get an ale, just because. One well-aged house brew coming up. And that will be the end of our time here in town. There you go. This tastes as sour as it smells and burns your throat as you swallow it. Still, it isn't the worst beer you've ever drunk. I think we've all been there. Alright. I don't remember if I had said it earlier. If you go in that alley at night, then you will be killed by some thieves. Or at least robbed. It's been a long time since I've actually bothered to do it. Now that we have our apples, we can visit our frost giant friend. What's up, buddy? I guess we don't really need to talk, do we? Let's give him some apples. Fruit you have found to fill all my food stores, thus filled the bargain my gem you have bought. Braugi has bartered, and all has been answered. The mead I made mellow, and now I head home. Braugi strides off through the cave on his way back to his northern home. Excellent. And now we have our glowing gem, which we can take to Bonehead out at Baba Yaga's hut. But I won't be doing that just yet, because there's something else that I would like to do first. So what time is it? It's mid-morning on day 7. And alright. Let's do a little round of training or something, basically just to sleep to get us to nighttime. As I said, there's one particular thing that I'm going to do essentially out of order, and that is something I'll show you in a bit. Oh, poor little Saurus. And they never have any money, so we don't need to search. Hello, goblin friend. Let's do some razzle-dazzle on ya. So, as you dazzle them, they'll freeze temporarily. And the more experience you have with the dazzle spell, the longer they'll freeze. So initially, it's a little more than a hiccup, and really doesn't give you much time to attack or do much of anything. Fortunately, the amount of stamina I have, I'm going to do a little bit of... I don't know if I'll get through this whole round. Yeah, I'll probably head out. Really, I don't care about the money at this point. So, sleep a little bit. Alright. Oops. And that's enough. Okay. Midday. enough to get through the fight, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. Walk. All right. All right. That's 2 down. I think there should be a total of 8 is my guess. 3. 4. 5. 6. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Okay. Sleep. And sleep. Yeah. Right. So now, sunset approaches. All right. Can't imagine the look now. All right. So let's give this one more go. So what we need it to be is midnight. And with the extra magic and stamina, I think we'll actually get through. Actually, it would have been more cost effective just to use flame twice, but not each one. That's fine. Probably do one more training video at some point where I'll work on Dazzle and getting our strength, vitality, everything back up, but that'll come later when we can be buying tons of potions and have a lot more money and can do things a little quicker. Alright. Lost all his money for... Oops. Poker slab, 8. Big day, 5. Nope, he's also 0. Okay, so let's head down. Stop here. Sleep. 60 minutes rest, you feel better. Let's see. Let's end this video here, and then we'll pick up with our first spending time at night in our next video. Alright, see you next time.